Hello friends, my name is Sarah. I'm the artist and maker behind Denim and Rain. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my, whoa, what the crap is that? Anyways, today I'm going to be sharing with you all the things that I would like to make this fall and winter. I don't know if I'll actually get to it or if I'll get distracted by other things or, you know, if I'll be able to make all of the things. I don't have like that large of a list, but there's a few things I want to make this year. This list is not going to include things I'm going to make for gifts. That's going to be a whole nother list, which is not a huge list actually this year, but there are a few things I plan to make, but I figured gift knitting needs a video all its own. All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to show you the yarn and then talk about the pattern. So the first thing I have is this yarn that I'm hoping to make a Musselburgh hat with. So the Musselburgh by Ysolda Teague, I think that's how you pronounce it, is like a double layered stockinette hat pattern. So what I'm thinking is this will be the main color. It'll be on both sides. And then on one side, I'm gonna hold double with this mohair. Now, if you follow me on Instagram and have seen, if you follow me on Instagram and you've seen my stories, I was talking about mohair. So I wasn't sure if the hobie mohair was what I was finding so itchy or if it's just mohair in general. Well, a very, very amazing woman, Kara of the PetiteKnit, sent me this leftover yarn from a project she had so I could try out the mohair silk, because hobie's Diablo, I think, is their mohair. It's mohair and acrylic. So I wasn't sure if it's maybe like just because there was no silk in it was my reason, because there's a lot of people who like mohair that think that mohair is so itchy. So she sent this to me and I was like, okay, I'm gonna knit a swatch, but then I was like, I don't have time to knit a swatch today and I'm impatient and I want to try it out. So I just shoved this whole ball, like I was wearing a sweatshirt, and I just shoved it down and it like sat right here. And within 1 minute, it was like starting to get itchy, but I was like, well, maybe it's just because it's warm. And then within 5 minutes, I was like broken out. I had a rash and I was so itchy. And I was like, well, maybe I could do a V-neck sweater. And so I put it in my back. Again, so itchy. So now, Sarah, why would you make a hat with mohair if you find it itchy? Because yeah, I know if I find it itchy here, I'm going to find it itchy on my forehead. The plan is, if I have this on the inside, the part that's touching my face, and this on the outside, I don't think it'll bother me. Oops, I just threw it. So that's the plan, is to make the Musselburgh hat. I bought the pattern, I've got needles coming, and yeah, I plan to actually cast that one on pretty soon, because I think I maybe want it for a trip I'm taking in a couple of weeks. I don't know, we'll see. But this, I love this yarn. This yarn I didn't mention, I just showed it to you. This one is a hand-dyed yarn by me. It was a blue and then I over-dyed it to make it this really pretty green. It's just I think it's either 100% merino or a 75-25. I don't remember. It's been a really long time. It feels, I'm not that good at telling. I feel like I'm getting better at telling, but I think that it's maybe 100% superwash merino. Can't guarantee it, but that's what I'm guessing. Okay, the next thing I want to make is some fingerless mitts for myself. And I'm wanting to use, let me hold it so you can see. These two, I'm gonna hold them double. So this is Husqvarna. This is their super soft, which is 100%, I believe it's just like a British wool or whatever. But I have two different colors here that, like I said, I want to hold double. And I don't know if I have a pattern in mind for these. I think I'm just going to make some basic ones with maybe like a faux cable going down the sides. I don't know. It's probably going to be, I'm going to make it up. as I go, which I really like to do. But this one is called Cinnamon. And this one is called Mufflon. I don't know how to pronounce that, but there they are. I think they will work really good together and will make nice, cozy fingerless mitts. The wool is a bit scratchy right now. I don't know I'd wear this as a sweater as it is. However, this little triangle thingy I blocked because I was testing it for something else. And it did soften up. It's still not the softest. I don't know. I would maybe be able to do like a V-neck sweater or a sweater that I would wear a shirt under, but yeah. But fingerless mitts, I can definitely do some fingerless mitts out of this yarn. Can you tell we're working with accessories first? We're just gonna keep on going. Next, we're gonna move on to the category of socks because I wanna make a lot of socks. First one is out of this yarn. I just wanna make some DK socks. This is a fingering weight that I'm gonna hold double for the heels, toes, and cuffs. It is just Happy Sheep. It is baby wool. It's just 100% wool. I'm probably not gonna do the heel out of this just because it doesn't have any nylon content. I will probably do it for the cuff and the toes because I don't wear very hard on my toes. It's more I wear hard on my heels. So, and on balls of my feet, which this will be on the balls of my feet. But this is from Paisley Knits, which she dyes some stunning yarn. If you don't follow her, you really should. But this is a 75-25 merino nylon, and it is a DK base, which I love. And this is the colorway Earl Grey. So I'm thinking for these, just a pretty simple stockinette sock, but I think down the back of the leg, I want to do a faux cable. I don't know yet. We'll cast on, and if I'm not liking the look of it, I'll frog it back, because DK socks, it doesn't take that long if I start and I don't like it. So DK weight socks, and on to the next. The next are these two. So these are going to be Christmas socks, and I'm thinking of having one where this is the main color and this is the heels, toe, and cuff, and then switched. This is the main, this is the heels, toes, and cuff. I think, because I do have a mustard that I was thinking could maybe be the cuff of this one, and then doing the heels and toes in this color, or I don't know. But I think these two pair very nicely together, especially because this one has like some green in it and stuff. So this one is Bella Filato. This was her last year's Christmas colorway, Noel. And this is a 75-25 merino nylon. It is so pretty. I fell in love with this one like the moment I saw it and was like, I need to make some socks out of this. It's gonna be fabulous. And then this one is the base Asher, and this is, hold on, Studio Q, which is a local to me yarn store and dyer. So this is the colorway Juniper, and it is a very luxurious base. It is 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So yeah, it is very soft. I do worry about, because it is so soft, it may be pilling more. I have played with the skein a lot, and it's not pilling, but it's doing this. It's doing this, where it gets like the fuzz off the top of it. So I don't know. We'll see how it wears for socks. So yeah, I might start with this one being the main one and then do the heels and toes with this, wear the socks for a little bit, and then make up my mind if I want this to be a full sock. Let me know. Have you knit that type of fiber content for socks before, the 80-10-10? Did you like it? How did it wear? So let me know down in the comments what you thought of that. So pair number 2, and these will be Christmas socks. I'll probably knit more Christmas socks, but I have a bunch of fingering and DK leftovers from last year, so I might make some scrappy Christmas socks. But I wasn't gonna dig through all my scraps to find them to show you guys. Sorry, but maybe I'll show them in a future video. So yeah. Anyways, these ones. All right. Lastly, I've been wanting to knit another fingering pair of socks. Fingering socks are not my favorite. They seem to take forever for me. I did one time knit a pair in a month. which just, that's so fast for me. Like usually the other pairs of fingering socks, one of them took me a year. Another one took me 3 years. Another one took me about 4 months? No, 3 months. So I don't have the best track record with fingering weight socks, but we're gonna do it again, and it's gonna be stripy. So I'm hoping that maybe makes it a little bit faster. And I'm trying to decide between 2 different colors because I can only commit to fingering weight socks like every now and then. So I've got to decide which one I want to do. These are the 2 colorways I'm deciding between. So this one, which is Hobie's Yarn Happy Toes, it is a self-striping yarn. It is one that I got for free. I put in an order and I got to use like some of my points or whatever towards a product, and so I chose this yarn because I was like, free yarn, yes please. But this is color 6. They never give colorway names, which is kind of annoying. Colorway names are much easier to remember than color numbers. But if I knit these in socks, I'm thinking I'd do shorties. I just think they'd be such cute shorties. And I only have 50 grams, which I've knit a whole pair of socks almost out of 50 grams. And I need to actually weigh it too, because sometimes like balls of yarn aren't actually what they say they are. So I need to weigh it first, and then maybe I'll start to knit a full length sock. I don't know. But yeah, this one. And then the other one I'm contemplating is this ball, which I actually dyed a few years ago, probably 3-4 years ago now. It is just a 75-25 merino nylon, and it's got 3 colors in there. It goes from blue to the white to the orange to the white to the blue, I think. I don't remember. I'd have to unravel it a little bit to tell. But yeah, I really like this one. The white sections have little speckles of black in there, and I think some orange or some blue speckling, some orange and blue speckling in the white sections. So yeah, I'm also contemplating this. These would definitely be full length socks. And then I do have a dark blue that would be the contrast heels, toes, and cuffs, because I like contrasty heels, toes, and cuffs, especially for stripy socks. I feel like you just kind of have to. And of course, my preferred method for heels, toes, and cuffs is heel flap and gusset. It's just what fits my foot the best, because I have a really high arch and instep. Like, it's really, really, really wide. If I just knit a normal heel, like a normal pattern would have you do, it fits so snug on my foot, it pulls way too tight. So I have to lengthen my heel flap to give extra gusset so it fits my foot properly. So I don't even ever want to try like oh, excuse me, my throat just like randomly dried up on me. Anyways, I don't think I could ever knit or even want to try like an afterthought heel, because I just don't think it would fit my foot very well. I know how my foot is, and I know this fits well, so I don't want to waste time when this works super good. So anyways, now let's move into sweaters. Okay, the first sweater, like next in line, I'm currently finishing up my brown sweater, which I'm calling my mushroom sweater. It's my broken rib one, which you can check my last projects video, I shared it in there. But I'm working on that one, and then after I finish that one, I'm going to be casting on another cardigan, because I only have one handmade cardigan and I wear it a lot, but I want another one that's darker. So I'm going to be using Lion Brand woolies, and I'm going to be knitting the champagne cardigan. Now, I already have a champagne cardigan, but I made the champagne cardigan a little bit more like PetiteKnit's. Oh, what is it? The champagne cardigan is also by PetiteKnits, but she also has the balloon cardigan, I think, which has like the balloony sleeves. So I knit the champagne cardigan with the balloony sleeves, because the balloon one is a DK and the champagne is a worsted, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure. So this is a worsted, so I'm gonna knit the champagne cardigan again, but I'm gonna knit the sleeves actually how the pattern has the sleeves. So I'll have the same cardigan, but they won't be the same because one's got balloony sleeves and this one will have straight sleeves. And this one, I think I might make a hair longer than my last one. My last one is maybe a touch cropped. So this one I might knit a little longer. So that will be in Lion Brand Woolies, which is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. I really love this yarn. It's super versatile. I use it for socks, for mittens, for hat, literally everything. I really love this yarn. If I could only use one yarn for forever, and like obviously thinking money is an object, because it always is, let's be real, it would probably be this. Now if money was no object, then indie died for the rest of my life, forever. But you know, money's a real thing in life. So I would probably stick with this because it is so versatile, and once it's washed, it gets real soft and it just holds up. Like I have other sweaters another sweater I've had for 3 years now, and it just holds up beautifully. And I throw it in the washer and the dryer. It's real good. So knitting a cardigan out of this. I haven't picked buttons yet. I will probably just pick some of my handmade resin ones to go with it. I don't know what color or what style yet, but I'll play around with it and figure it out once the cardigan starts to take shape, because then that's when you kind of get the feel for it and the mood. So once I get the idea of what the mood is going to be like, what the vibe of the sweater is going to be, then I'll pick the buttons. So yeah, Champagne Cardigan by PetiteKnit out of Lion Brand Woolies in the Oxford color. Next sweater I actually have a swatch for. This is not going to be my next sweater that I cast on, but I was feeling like a swatch the other day. And no, I don't usually swatch. I don't swatch for patterns that I'm like knitting of other people's. I just don't do it because I live on the edge. There's like, my swatches never match what ends up being like the actual project. Anyway, so I check my gauge as I go. Sometimes, not always. But this one I'm swatching to check if I like the stitch pattern with this yarn, because I'm thinking of making a sweater, a drop shoulder sweater with this texture. So this is the same texture as my Here Come the Socks pattern. It's kind of hard to see because it's kind of bright white, but it is like a gingham or like a checkered, but out of texture, not color. So yeah, it's got like knit sections and purl sections and knit and purl sections, so it's super cute. I wasn't sure at first, but the more I look at it, the more I like it, and I like held it up to my wrist and was like, ooh, that'd be a super cute sleeve. So yeah, I'm thinking a drop shoulder style. The only thing I'm a little hesitant on is figuring out like how to raise the neck and the back a little bit. So I might have, I don't know. Playing with short rows with something like this type of a pattern is kind of like, oh boy. But yeah, so we'll see. And so I would be knitting this out of Holst yarn. This is the sand color. And this is the Tide Space, which is 70% wool, 30% silk. So if you look real close, you can kind of see little like nips and little stuff in there. That's the silk. And then holding that double with Hobie's Alpaca Blaze, which is, I don't remember the content. I'll put it on the screen. But holding these double, creating a, it's more of a sport weight, I would say, because this is a really light fingering weight, and of course this is lace. So the two held together, we're kind of creating a sport weight yarn. So, and I don't think I've ever knit anything sport weight yarn, and I'm not sure this is the needle size I would use, but it's a pretty decent fabric. Sorry, I'm just yarn everywhere. It's a pretty decent fabric. I like things that have a little bit of air. Like I don't like it when fabric is too dense, because then it doesn't flow. Like I don't want this to be super drapey because of the stitch pattern, Like I want it to have some structure, but I don't want it to be like standing up on itself. But I also don't want it to be like floppy, because then you kind of lose the stitch definition. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for this. Making up my own pattern as we go. I like doing that every now and then. No, I don't really release patterns. In an ideal world, if I had way more time and brain space, I probably would release more patterns, because I have a million ideas for patterns, but a lot of them I just kind of make it up and it becomes an exclusive just for me type thing. I am trying to maybe write up the mushroom sweater, but I don't know, guys. I get very stressed out about releasing patterns and people not liking them, or like, I hate pattern support, you guys. I hate getting emails about it and people asking, like, it just, like, the moment I see a pattern support email, I'm like, no, I don't want to. It's like part of writing patterns, so like the idea of doing it for sweaters is just more stressful than doing it for accessories like socks, because yeah, socks are just a lot easier for me to explain than a sweater, because each size, of course, is going to be different, and which I had to explain to somebody for one of my other patterns. They're like, these numbers, they're just like, they're different from this one. These ones are increasing this way, but this one's increasing this way. It's like, yes, because it's a larger size, so I don't want to increase it the same way in these sections, because otherwise you're going to end up with this. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, I get that question all the time. So it's, anyways, rant over, guys. Next sweater. The next sweater I want to knit probably won't be until maybe even late winter, like heading into next year. And I don't have all the yarn for it yet either. So what I have is, oh, this looks a little more yellowy on screen. Maybe, yeah, it's coming up a little bit warmer on screen than it actually is. So this is the colorway Home by Sorella. This is the 80/20 base. It's a 2-ply, super pretty green. I think this is currently still available. This is one of their autumn tonals, which they released again this year. I got a skein of it last year and then realized, oh, I want to knit a sweater out of this. So Sorella very kindly sent me 2 more to make a sweater, and then I sent them some goodies as well. But there were different dye lots, so they look quite a bit different. But I'm not overly concerned, because I will be holding this with an alpaca yarn. The alpaca blaze, there is a green that's a little cooler that I think I'll hold this double with. And then if I'm holding it double, what I'll do is I'll knit the body and the majority of the sleeves in these ones, and then fade in the other color that looks differently into the bottom of the sleeves. It's kind of what I'm thinking. And pattern, I don't know yet. I kind of, wow, brain broke. I kind of want a cable sweater, but I also really like the idea of something super simple and classy, like Caidree's home sweater, the V-neck one. I really think this would be super pretty in that pattern. I've thought about it more than once, that pattern with this yarn, so it's probably going to be the one I knit. I've already knit I've already knit a sweater. Wow. I've already knit the home sweater before, and I just love the way it fits. It fits so good. And just this yarn is so pretty. I think I would wear that sweater to death out of this yarn. I don't like the yarn I chose for the other one quite as much, because it's a variegated yarn. I still wear it and really love it, but it's mainly because of the fit. So I think if I had it in this solid or tonal green, yeah, it'd be good. So you know what? That's probably what I'm gonna knit. I should just write it down so I don't forget, because I'll probably later be like, what was I gonna knit? I highly doubt I'll forget, because like I said, I've thought about it lots of times. So yeah, this I'll double with some alpaca. It's gonna be real dreamy. So yeah. All right, so those are all the patterns and yarns that at the moment I want to knit with this fall. There'll probably be more things, if I'm being honest, that I'll want to knit or like switch things out. The for sure things that are going to be happening though is that cardigan, and for sure that hat and fingerless mitts, because I have no fingerless mitts. And then I also want a hat that Musselburgh so I can kind of like roll it up. And I need more like skull type caps because it just fit my short hair a lot better. And with short hair, it's get kind of cold. I was also kind of thinking I might want to knit a new cowl. I don't wear a ton of scarves and cowls. Like I like a really like tight cowl because my neck gets really cold now that I have no hair. But I don't know. I don't have the yarn, I think, at the moment for that, but it's in the back of my head. So what are you guys planning on making this fall and winter? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to chat with you about it. Even if I don't respond to all of your comments, I promise I see them all and it inspires me to make other things as well. So let me know down in the comments what you plan on making this fall and winter. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye.